Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Ladies, listen up. We are so excited to have our women's empowerment and business coach. She's the founder of Untapped Potential Incorporated, based out of Hartford, Connecticut. Candace Freedenberg here joins us today to talk more about the work she does to really help advance business and reignite that career. She's on a mission to impact gender equality in work by returning women in with the gap due to caregiving back to their caliber. Welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm well, Jill. Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for doing what you're doing for all us fellow women and moms out there that, sometimes take the back seat for a little while for bigger, better reasons, working hard still and getting back in that workforce. And I commend you on that. Thank you.
I appreciate your kudos, and we have been working hard. It is hard work to get women back to work, but we believe that women have a long career span that they can contribute to society. And today, with living longer and having more technical operations versus labor of work, that women can look at those years of caregiving as short time span years and can really add value over the long span of their careers. And really, it's corporations and businesses that are missing out on this very valuable talent.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. I can't wait to learn more about Untapped Potential. And I've seen on the website all the amazing work you do. And let's urge everyone to go to that website. It's the letter U, potential.org. And Candace can be reached there. And also, I want to find out about you. Do you mind sharing a little about where you grew up? And let's talk about your life and how you got into this entrepreneurial bug and, started this career. This is fascinating.
Interesting question, because I grew up in Canton, Connecticut, a small town outside of Hartford, and
Mm-hmm.
we moved back here 20 years after me being in corporate America at IBM and Eastman Kodak. And interestingly, when I was awarded the Women Owned Business of the Year through the SBA, it hit me at that event that my grandfather was an entrepreneur. He had a
Ah.
60-year lumber company, and my mother was an entrepreneur. She had a dancing school in our home. So I didn't connect the two as I was an engineer in the workplace, but it all, shows up at some point.
Amazing. So parents, I'm assuming, going to be mentors to you. Did they really push you and help you in this career? I mean, they clearly showed you a path of entrepreneurship, right?
Right. Well, definitely. And the other thing is, with women, they don't share their career journey. Like, it wasn't until I started uh, unpeeling the onion of the barriers that women face did my mother say, yeah, that happened to me after being a business owner and then getting
Ah.
my bachelor's degree. They told me should remove that I was a business owner off my resume because that was threatening, or different things, that the barriers for women to pivot while they might have had a career of doing an agency, a marketing agency, while they were parenting, to have that flexibility. We really need to couch it in the right way for companies and employers to be accepting.
Beautiful. And by the way, I used to teach dance, not in a home dance studio, but I commend your mom on doing that. I used to go to someone's house when I was little who had a home studio. So that brings back such great memories. And it really is sad, though, how women are looked down upon. It's obvious. Look, I have a 7 and 9-year-old, I have two little boys, right? And now I never had that, right? I had this big career and then it was like take the back seat, stay with your kids, and I still work, right? But it's like, wow, you see how people look at you differently when you tell them like, oh, you're home with your kids. They're like, wait, what? It's like, no, you should be, this work of parenthood is harder than any.
Right. And now I speak at HR events,
Yes, I saw all
and
your speaking. Tell us.
where my talk focuses on, how employers and HR recruiters can open their funnel, if you will, to capture more candidates in the way they write their requisitions, in the places that they post their resumes, things, or their job recs, things of that nature. But what I hear when I'm there and they have, the keynote speaker that's focusing on leadership and how HR is pivoting, what they're saying are the skills that they need today in leadership are empathy and emotional intelligence, and that those
Yeah.
can't be trained. And one way they are gleaned through work is parenting
Yep.
and being responsible for, multifacets at the same time, being able to measure people's needs and meet all those needs, managing the PTO and understanding parents and teachers and
Yep.
different constituents' demands. Those are skills that are gleaned during parenting, not to mention that we are living in a time where women inordinately are more degreed than men. From 2008 to 2013, 11 million more degrees were granted to women. So they're when we say advancing business, we're
Yeah.
changing the expectations and the understanding that these women are coming back are ones that had power careers in aerospace industry or technical jobs, things of that nature, because they were allowed to then, but they still one barrier that
Mm-hmm.
still face that threat with dual income couples where one career takes precedent over the other and requires moving to a new city. And it's more often the woman that becomes what we call that trailing spouse.
Correct. Well, I got to ask you because you're a mom. How did you do it? I want to hear a little bit about that, right? So you got your degree in business from, was it Boston University?
I had my
And then,
master's of science in business from Boston University, but my undergraduate degree is more unique. It is an optical engineering degree
yeah.
from University of Rochester. So I definitely was in hardcore manufacturing and semiconductors, just
Wow.
coming back in the late 1980s, and worked in IBM, which was a Fortune 4 company at the time,
Yeah.
state of the art, and went through a lot of new technology, new business developments. The laser was only 10 years old at the time. And we were, first and foremost, working with it and creating new technologies with it. And I, I expanded when I got my MBA and really was a leader in developing new businesses, kind of had that entrepreneurial bent. We
Yeah.
started, and with a partner in crime, we started optical development services, and we're selling our services from IBM external to other companies like Sikorsky and Johnson and Johnson. And then I went into worldwide sales in IBM and moved more into the commercialization of products, and had an experience to go to one of our client companies, Eastman Kodak,
Yep.
which is core and centric in the optical field, and really was then highlighted for my IT skills because I was born out of it at IBM. And so I brought e-commerce during the dot-com era, Kodak
Wow.
with Earth imagery online, kind of a precursor to Google Earth, where I was managing in multiple cities, multiple countries, imagery through a portal, and had a lot of great experiences. Unfortunately, between my spouse's career and my career and the third child on the way, couldn't keep it all going. I couldn't move back
Ah,
to the plant when they were selling to
no, no.
ITT. And really,
Yeah.
I thought we would just relocate and I'd figure something out. But as I really wanted to be the parent I wanted to be, was in deep with 3 kids, and I wouldn't regret it for a minute. It was the best thing. And I
God bless.
ended up getting back into a technical professional role more when I was delving into this problem of, really from an economic perspective, this lack of human capital
Mm-hmm.
and productivity because we're letting them be sidelined for the remainder of their career. And I was thinking more in my MBA, the economist perspective of, this is a loss of human capital, and hence the term untapped potential, and how can
Yep.
we bring it back. And I started it as a nonprofit. It quickly pivoted to a benefit corp, and we have a double bottom line. We're impacting numbers of women in senior roles, the pipeline for women in gender equality, and women in STEM. I'm an advocate for STEM with my background. We skill up women in data analytics, cybersecurity, agile, and scrum, and open their minds to the jargon of the day. We have sessions on AI in the office and how to increase productivity. We make them so that they can take whatever expertise they had and be confident in their return. And we trademarked the flex return, which is a flexible way for companies to leverage this talent and bring it back to work.
Wow. You are on fire. Amazing. How old are your kids, by the way?
I have a daughter who's 25. She's now serving as an officer in the United States Marine Corps. I
Oh,
have a son who just graduated with a computer science degree at 22, and then one who left yesterday for college. He's at Cornell and he's 20.
Oh my goodness. Well, congratulations on everything and that you're helping so many women, by the way, and congratulations on your achievements. I know you're a keynote speaker now, workshop leader, can be hired to do all this as well. And you have so many more things and you've been honored with so many things. What do you, my goodness, what do you love, doing? This clearly makes you happy helping women now, right?
It really is my passion, and it kind of comes full circle.
Ah,
Really, when I wanted to go into engineering, my mom was like, "You spend so much on the time on the phone helping all your friends. I thought you'd choose like psychology."
see?
So I really get thrilled by finding that unique niche of a role that a business really needs, and I leverage my IBM consulting years to pull out, where are they, what's going to bring them forward as they're being disrupted, and can human capital really make a difference in their business. So it's kind of consulting and getting really deep into the client's needs. And then also on the candidates, we really focus on making the second stage career something that they are passionate about, something that they can do to their longevity, and something that, we ask them questions like, what would you do tomorrow if you didn't need to make any money in the world? And what blogs do you go to?
Yeah.
What feeds you, to try to marry that with the right business need? We also open women's eyes to the way of work today. Granted, it moves at a faster pace than it might have in the past, but also, even pre-pandemic, there was freelance working and things of that nature through portals that might not have even crossed
Hmm.
people's minds. And we also are encouraging women to pursue entrepreneurship, and how, if they have a strength or a passion, we support them in the connecting them to the right incubators, which I went through an incubator in Hartford, to really get the knowledge first and then see how they can take their passion to market on the internet.
Wow, amazing. Well, thank you for sharing all this. We just got to remind everyone how we can reach out to you before we continue. Would you mind sharing the website?
For sure. It's the letter U, potential.org. And we are an event driven business. So if you go to upotential.org/events, we have upcoming events, a returners accelerator that covers the three key criteria: your elevator pitch, your resume, and interview tips with real mock interviewers from industry mentors. And then on October 7th, we start our industry focused return to work events.
Amazing. Well, thank you for sharing that. All right. Well, let's break down some of the work at upotential.org that you're helping people with. And I also want to hear some of the amazing, testimonials. I've seen some of the videos on there. But so your clients are talking great things. So where did you want to begin? How does it work to work with you at, Untapped Potential?
Well, from a corporate perspective, the number one thing, the first thing is simply open your mind, be forward thinking about how this demographic could add value. And we ask companies to pledge to measure our candidates by their skills and their experience, and not discount them for caregiving. So they can simply sign up for our newsletter, pledge, and attend a mentor mingle or a client candidate focused event to open their eyes to the value of this demographic. Second is submitting a business need. And third is we put not only candidates on our website that are there in our talent pool, but we tailor your custom talent. So we will put 3 or 4 of the candidates that we've met live. We've gone through a number of procedural steps with them, and we really think that they fit your need. So then they can start the interviewing process from there. On the candidate side, really it's an exploratory process. They can explore free, or they can go through our guided process. But we have a high touch process where we have times where you can meet us one-on-one. You can meet our mentors. We will match you with a mentor in industry. And then we have info sessions. But what we want to highlight is that it does take work. And many people think, oh, I have a Harvard degree. I have this. I should be able to turn on a dime. Things have changed with regard to the job board system, the applicant
Hmm.
tracking system, the keywords, and now AI. And what we really want to do is work with you to understand it's an aspirational goal. What do you want to bring forward? Not simply listing your historical strengths and roles. And we work with women to get them to that point where they're confident in our speed interviews. And we curate companies that are open to meeting you. And really, that's where the talent shines. They're well
Yeah.
practiced. They have their go forward plan. They know what's going to feed them in their next skill, and we do encourage all women to skill up, to sign up for some course on our skill up page, whether it's one of our live
Ah,
sessions on data analytics, cybersecurity, or digital marketing, or even a
wow.
professional development course.
Oh my goodness. I'm all over the website, by the way. I'm looking at the business, the talent, the events, the blog. You got so much going. Skill up, work up. This is all new to me. This is exciting stuff, ladies.
Yes,
Ladies,
and
listen
we
up.
stress that, it even for people that are in the industry, it
Yeah.
is so hard to transition and to pivot to something new. And our flex return kind of minimizes the friction for both the company and the candidate. And really, it was devised so that women didn't feel that this was so threatening.
Oh my
So they
gosh.
anyone can sign up to do something for 3 months with
Okay.
confidence. And
Yeah.
the fact that we do it in a flexible way means that they can start shaving off their day-to-day responsibilities. When I say reducing the friction, often it's simply attending a mentor mingle, and then a mentor takes them under the wing and says, why don't you join this board? I know you'll make good connections. And we know that 80% of the jobs out there are get received and matched because of real connections. So we want to be that real connection. We have a three-pronged process. We provide a network of support,
Yeah.
skill up opportunities, and then that real curated engagement, which is, you know, the flex return or direct hire. And in that, we work kind of like a staffing firm. One
Okay.
thing, I don't know if I should say this with confidence, but it's something I strongly believe. We will never be just a job board. We will never
Mm-hmm.
present the jobs that are already out there. We're always working with clients to tailor the job to the level that the woman is at. And again,
Perfect.
it could be a man. We've had men that
Yep.
have followed similar paths, and we've always had one or two at our mentor mingles and our speed interview events. But really, that aspect means that, this person was at a high run rate. Maybe they were in New York City, they were up for, a director level, and then their
Mm-hmm.
husband's role moved them to a new city. They might not be able to do what they did then, but they're not going to start at zero. So where do
Okay.
we find that midpoint for them to add value to a business? Maybe it's a startup. We've had a lot of
Yeah.
great at startups, and where they can, be bringing all their traits and their former organizational understanding and bringing that startup to a new level.
Oh, beautiful. I mean, you're in the workup, by the way, you teach them to well, do their resume, their elevator pitch, the interview, like you're working on all their skills.
Yes, definitely. And we pull in, coaches that are best of breed. We want our candidates to be working with those that are helping those in industry and have all those knowledge. I was a mom, so I can't advise on finance resumes and, architect resumes and everything, but we pull in
But
resources, and we have a very deep mentor pool, industry mentors that share their time and talent because they want to lift women up.
beautiful. And you have an upcoming event soon next month, right? This
Right.
is which one is that?
The Returners Accelerator. We have weekly events, but our big ones, we just did mock interview tips last Thursday. And through the summer, we've done these 1 hour segments on those three key things: elevator pitch, resume, and interview tips. In September, we bring them all together in a 3 hour workshop. So that's our Returners Accelerator. And it includes all three things and culminates with a mock interview with industry mentors that join in.
Got
and
it.
and the feedback we get from that is just great, from both the candidate side, to be on a high from
Yeah.
being interfacing with uh, our mentors and using the jargon of their field and things of that nature, to the mentors are like, you have some stellar talent, this person could do this, let me connect you to this, and it just grows from there.
Wow, I'm looking at, and they also have the whole talent pool there listed on the website. Everything from, I was reading about a detective that's there, commercial
Yes,
investment and finance. There's writers, producers, all different sorts of fields, talent acquisition, public relations.
definitely. We've grown, and we really have a lot of strength. One thing that women that have spent time being mom, they're really often a jack of all trades. So then when they come in a startup, they've taken our digital marketing workup class, and then they get into a social media role. They end up doing oversees procurement for the company. They end up, taking on projects in different ways. And we've had a great match with chief of staff type roles
Wow.
where they're kind of supporting right hand person to the CEO. They have the eyes for everything, but they're dotting the I's, crossing the T's, pulling things together. They might be leveraging a marketing background or a financial background.
Amazing. I love all this potential that you're offering us. And in our last few minutes together, we only have 4 minutes left. What else did you want to make sure we cover for today's show?
I want to make sure that we look to companies and ask them to be part of the solution. That's our theme for this October's Return to Work client candidate speed interview events. And it's Return to Work for Women. And we ask them to be part of the solution. Simply engage and attend in one of your industry verticals. We have them divided up in industry verticals such as healthcare, biotech, and pharma, or manufacturing, aerospace, and clean technology. Then we have the IT fields of cybersecurity,
Yeah,
data analytics. So you can choose your day, you can choose based on your business need, but be part of the solution. And with regard to candidates, you don't need to do this alone. Our theme is let's navigate this together and leverage those that have gone before you, both the positive experiences and the learnings.
got it. Amazing, amazing. And clearly you are love what you do. How do you make time for yourself? Like, wow. I mean, you clearly love what you do. Do you get some time to rest? I always like asking, our guests, what they do for their spare time to help them decompress from all the work that they do and all the help they're supporting with people. Is there anything in particular, or is
Well,
work?
I'll share that right when we get off this phone call, I need to hustle over because I'm in a golf league. And I started that when I went back to work myself as an optical engineer, product development at a German multi-layer thin film manufacturer. And they said, you're taking over the role that the chemical engineer was retiring, and he was responsible for the golf league. So I ended up doing that. And it's been 7 years now, 6 or 7 years.
Oh
And
my goodness.
Kelly, my partner, and I won the tournament last year. And she said, does this mean we can say we're golfers? And I'm like, we better be able to say we're golfers.
Oh my
So, but
goodness.
obviously, my family is top priority, and spending time traveling to see my kids or supporting my kids. And my husband and I enjoy a lot of lake sports, if you will, SUP.
Oh, beautiful. Well, thank you so much. And in our last few minutes together, how did you want to, leave off with your listeners today that really have benefited and can benefit from your services?
Well, I want to level set what they think a returning mom is. And I'll give two examples. We've had women return in a project management role. We'll fit them in. We always have the company major client in the healthcare space, uh, always has needs for project managers. That person went on in our flex return 20 hours a week. At the close of it, they really wanted to bring her on board. She said she could only do 30. They were accommodating. Now she's been full time the last couple of years, and she is the director of IT delivery at a Fortune 4 company. The company we placed her in was required, and she went up the ranks. So the fact that it's not just, oh, they can be my receptionist. Sure, I'll open my office for them. It's that these are playing
Yeah,
pivotal leadership roles. They have the capability to be leaders. We want to increase women in senior roles and women in STEM. And we know they're out there, and we need to create this glide path. Our flex return creates that glide path for them to return.
amazing. Well, thank you so much. And how can we reach out to you to get started?
Upotential.org. You can choose business or candidate and go from
Awesome.
there.
Thank you so much. Exciting to have you here. I'll let you hustle. It's time.
Great.
And
Thank you
really
so
pleasure getting
much.
to meet you. Are we back again next week?
I think
Or is
it's
this
the week after.
okay, awesome. Just to let you know, if you want to share your screen next time to show, some of the formats, how you're working with people, some of the events, we could do that
Great.
to
As you
make it
were
more.
looking at it, I was thinking, oh, I could show the 3 steps in the
Yes,
workout
yeah.
and
We'll
the
do
three
that.
steps
We'll
for
do
each
that
side.
next time. Does that sound like a
That's
plan?
that's beautiful. That would be great.
All
Let
right,
me
great.
just, if you can hold for 2 seconds,
Sure.
I want to grab that link in bio, and I'll put that.
Perfect. Put it on in. I'm going to wrap up the show on this end. Let's say goodbye for now, but Candace, I won't leave you hanging. And I'll see you in a little bit, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Bye-bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.